Hey there, welcome back to Zesty's Corner. As always, I'm your host, and this time you get to properly see the face behind the voice. Today we'll be doing a follow-up to my last Surface Duo 2 video. This time we'll be talking about everything I noticed after using it for a month. Jumping right in and talking about the neutral category items I have, Amazon Shopping can be installed from the Play Store. I wonder if this had to do with the phone looking like a tablet, but I'm not really sure. As for the second item, not knowing how fast my phone is charging. Once again, I'm coming from a OnePlus 7 Pro, so I'm used to my phone telling me charging slowly, charging rapidly, dash, and warp. So I'm able to easily identify how fast my phone is charging. But since the fastest I get is charging rapidly, which means more than 1.5 amps, as a consumer, that means nothing to me. I bought a third-party charger, so I have no idea how fast it's charging, but I know my last phone was the reason why it was different, and not so much this phone, which is why this is in the neutral area. The Start app would randomly crash and relaunch itself on the phone, which was super annoying because I wouldn't even have launched the app in the first place. It would have been running as a service in the background and crashed, so it would relaunch itself, making it so the app would open, messing up whatever I was doing. Lastly, finding accessories that will work with this phone is still pretty hard. There are some out there, but they are usually pretty pricey. Anyway, I know you're done looking at my face, and you want to see more of this phone. That's better. Now, looking at the cons, the bumpers start to get dirty looking and have discolor to them. When I first got the bumpers, they were as white as my phone, but as you can see, they are now just grayish, almost like I used a pencil on it. Google Duo requires me to mute and then unmute for people to hear me. Yes, I don't have footage for all these issues I've encountered. I'm not a big camera person, but I noticed that the night mode for it is terrible. There's no way to even understand what I'm trying to take a picture of. And sometimes the front-facing camera is in 15 FPS. Biggest issue with this has to do when I'm in a video call with someone. Trust me, it'll be the biggest complaint you'll get. Sometimes, both of the phone speakers don't turn on, which makes everything sound hollow and tingy. Apps will see the phone as a tablet, which might cause any issues for some apps, but some apps don't work as well. As you can see with my robot vacuum app, where that little pop-up window is, that would take up the full screen. Or worse, lacking features like how YouTube is missing some of the creator features. The phone will discharge about 20% every night, sometimes as much as 30%, and I can't seem to figure out why this is. Some apps get weird and won't work properly or even at all. Bluetooth is even worse than I expected. It seems to cut out pretty often when playing music through a speaker. I work at a place where I play music from my phone so everyone can hear, and randomly it'll start cutting out even though my phone and the speaker are 10 feet apart from each other and aren't moving, which is unlike what was happening I mentioned in my first video, where the launcher will just get confused and not properly show everything when going from one screen to the other. Sometimes, when closing the phone will tap on the right screen. This has made it so I've accidentally called people, unpaused the YouTube video, or even started playing music, even though I just paused it. Videos will regularly, at least once a day, start to play back at ridiculously slow speeds, with the only thing I'm able to do is to restart my phone, which will fix the issue. And to further clarify this, when I say videos, I mean GIFs, any type of video on any type of app. All of them feature the same slowdown problem. It's just easiest to showcase it on YouTube, which is what I'm doing. Also, sometimes YouTube videos will unpause themselves, but this only seems to happen once in a blue moon after restarting my phone, and this is only on the very first video I watch, so this is all super rare when put together. Gestures are still a mess, and I think it's because of how buggy the launcher can be. Before I can see I was messing up a bit myself, but now it's just more apparent to me how messed up it really is. And finally, the keyboard has issues. I'm not sure what it is, but something still doesn't feel right. I've had it for this long, but I'm no better at typing on it than I was when I first got it. Now, there can only be one spot left, and that would be the pros. Game Pass works amazingly on this phone since the bottom screen is where the touch controls will go, and feels much nicer than covering what you're viewing with your fingers. The camera on the phone is pretty solid. Like I stated, I'm not a big camera guy, but it seems to get the job done fairly well. Since I've been using my OnePlus 7 Pro for all of my camera work, it's nice that this phone doesn't get anywhere near as hot when video recording, and doesn't have some of the limitations that phone has. I have a Surface headset, and I'm so happy to see that there is a Surface audio integration, because I have not reliably been able to get the UWP Surface app working correctly on my computer. So being able to just do all of it from my phone is simply amazing. I only listed what I've noticed since my 1 week video, so everything that I said in that video is still true unless I followed it up in this video. After a month, I do still like this phone. It's my favorite phone by far. I'm still daily driving it and love all of the use I'm getting out of it. I just wanted to address what I'm noticing with the phone because these aren't items I would have thought of when looking up information about the phone. And that's about everything I've listed in my notes that I wanted to discuss today. If there's anything that I didn't mention that you have questions about, leave it down below. It was nice engaging with a lot of you on the 1 week later video. You can even mention if you're interested in maybe hearing more about the original Surface headsets and what I think about it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining me at Zesty's Corner.